$5 a month. What's that? That's a bloody fucking
Hey.
not even a cup of coffee. You can't even get a coffee for fucking $5 and get all this content. My God, lady.
Oh.
Vice has decided to do something absolutely horrifying. Put 8 women in a room and allow them to argue. But these aren't just regular women. Some are pro-feminists, others are anti-feminist. And let me tell you this, from what I've heard, it didn't go as planned. People got pretty mad. They argued and they argued. They talked everything from equality to the wage gap, to things I can't talk about this early in a YouTube video or YouTube will get mad, to men, trans people, Me Too. They talked about everything and they went toe to toe, ladies and gentlemen. There was almost fights. It was unbelievable. And I'm just judging that off Sydney Watson, a friend of mine who was actually on this Vice debate panel and took part in the arguing. You can check out her video. But I thought I'd watch the entire argument for myself for the very first time and bring you guys along for the ride. So let's allow right now, finally, what should have been done from the start. Let's let a man step in and sort these arguments out. And who better than me, the comedian, Isaac Butterfield. How you doing?
So we can
Who
pick
has
what we
no
want to
barriers?
pick.
Who doesn't have barriers?
Women don't have barriers?
Women, yeah. What's
We have
stopping
no
you? You can do
barriers.
whatever you want.
I can or you can?
What's stopping you?
Spoiler alert, that lady has no legs. But the whole argument, and that's the whole start of the Vice piece right there that goes for 43 minutes. There is nothing stopping you if you are born female from doing everything that men can do. Okay? Even now you can even have a penis, which is exciting. But I just think that it really does come down to this. Some people like to be the victim. Some people like to whinge. Some people like to bitch and moan, and I think that's what we're going to see in this video. But no spoilers. There won't be any spoilers. Let's continue to watch. Oh, Vice reviews. Really let themselves go. Right. We're going to look at everything. Identity, politics. This city wants Vice debate. Now, there have been these debates before, and they are good fun to watch. Go back and watch them. But the whole anti and pro-feminist debates, they haven't really been happening that much recently. I think it's important that Vice have brought this back, and I think it's even more important that they turned the comments off in this video. So obviously they were getting absolutely hammered in the comment section. But anyway, I digress.
We know we can't represent everybody's views, but we did try our best to bring together a diverse group of women today. In today's polarized world, is feminism dead?
Oh.
You guys saw your hand.
I think that depends on the definition of feminism. I strongly think that feminism is more of an action than an identity.
Eli Elric. I know that name. Why do I know that name? Eli Elric, I'm pretty sure Blair White made a video on her a while ago. And then Eli tried to sue, or is suing, Blair White, so I shan't be talking too much shit about Eli. I've got enough things to worry about. Yeah, so
Probably
Eli's
not,
suing Blair White. I'm not 100%
like
sure
thinking
why.
that I get it.
This is from Twitter though. This is according to Women Read Women.
Oh, I do get a brawler.
Assault. There are receipts of admissions allegedly.
Fucking ironic, isn't it?
This is what's said by them, so please don't come after me. One of Elric's, because you know you do scare me with your white hair. You look like that monk from the Da Vinci Code. Allegedly, one of
That's
Elric's
fucking
victims committed
ironic.
suicide. Alleged. It's all alleged. None of this is
Oh,
proven.
dang, I thought
But
it
that
13
tweet
enemies in there.
shared from Women Reading Women. So I don't know what's happening there. It's got 50,000 followers. Maybe it's legit. Maybe it's not. It could be all ridiculous. But that is who this Eli lady is.
I would say it's uplifting all women, in which case it's very alive. At the same time, if we do follow that definition, feminism has splintered off into so many different areas that you can look at people like Sheryl Sandberg who say you should just get another nanny if you feel oppressed.
I don't know who that is, but fair advice.
And if we're talking about that kind of feminism,
I love that laugh because you know I saw that when I was starting out doing open mic comedy when I first started my career. You would have these people who would sit at the back, other comics who would sit at the back of the room, and they wouldn't laugh at, say, me, because I was doing offensive material to some people. And they wouldn't laugh at that, but they get one of their mates up there, and they would laugh at every single thing they said, even though it was sort of anti-comedy. It was just awkward, weird shit. That's the sort of laughs that you get with feminists, and I guarantee you we're going to see this in this video more. People just go, yes, Queen, you fucking nailed it. Fucking does me head in. Go on,
Give it a
Eli,
chance.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's pretty dead.
I just need that
Yeah,
last
I mean-
champ too.
As long as the human race exists, feminism will never be dead. It's something that we're always going to have to strive and work towards to make sure that there's equality.
I don't think feminism is dead. I think it's important that it exists. We don't want a world where equality doesn't have people fighting for it. Because there are opportunities for people, let's say, who don't like women to try and take things back, and it shouldn't be like that. Women who were born 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago should have exactly the same rights as anyone born a man, all right? That is absolutely... This is the fucking thing that does me. I hear all the time that Isaac Butterfield, right, hates women. I hate women. What are you talking about? Just because I disagree with some things that feminists say doesn't mean I hate women. That is insane, all right? I agree that feminism, equality of the sexes, is fucking
So I can
important.
press play again the
But
whole time.
when you try and destroy men, when you try and destroy straight white men, and that's your whole life, when everyone's oppressed and everyone's the victim, that is what I will argue against, all right? Everybody love everybody, everybody let live, but that goes both ways.
So feminism is not dead.
I don't know that it can die. As long as there's power and oppression, there will be people fighting for equity. And until that somehow goes away, feminism is alive and well.
She's right. Power and oppression until that goes away, which won't. Right? Someone's gonna be oppressed somewhere, right? You can't have everyone being you can't have everyone exactly equal. But what she's referring to isn't people mining for rare earth minerals in the middle of fucking Africa. Those people are oppressed by power. She's talking about people who are on this panel, who just wake up every day in their $1 million house, and you claim that they're oppressed. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think feminism isn't actually about equality. It's about equality when it benefits us. I think feminism, it's really about women wanting special privileges and treatment.
That's Pearl. I like Pearl. She has some good things to say. I'd like Pearl to come on the podcast too. Pearl, hello.
At the expense of men, often.
See?
And-
This face. Yeah, you're wrong. You don't agree with me, so you're a fucking bitch.
Similar to what Pearl just said, I find that a lot of feminist ideology and thought today feels more of like a supremacist movement rather than something that is supposed to be advancing the goals of equality. I don't think that we can really term what's going on as feminism because it looks so different to, I think, the earlier feminist movement.
And I feel like Sydney's spot on there. It's not so much advancing women up to parity with men. It's all about taking them the next step and making men the oppressed. That's like the whole goal there is like, yes, we are boss babes, we are, the girls, all this type of shit, and take them past men and make men the little slaves. Which, whatever. I know some dudes are into that. But here's the thing. That's not equality. Okay, you can't reach equality by pushing someone else down. That's not what this is about. This is about making people equal. Simple. Or at least that's what it used to be about. It's not about that anymore.
I think life is easier if you're a girl. Actually, I think there's a lot of benefits that men don't have. I'm not going to speak anything to race. I'm just talking about gender specifically. It's usually like an excuse.
Okay, Pearl is right and she's wrong, I think. Women have it easy in a lot of ways, but men have it easy in a lot of other ways. I think there are tons of different things that you can say, hey, it's easier being a man here, it's easier being a woman here, whatever. Like, you can't narrow it down just on gender. It's just not the appropriate way to calculate what's easy, right? It's just not, because it's all about individuality and it's all about where you grew up and how much money your parents have. There's so many things that factor into it, and that's why I have issues and I raise issues with things like the wage gap and all that type of shit. It depends on the individual. It doesn't come down to gender. Some women may find it harder to do this, and some men might find it harder to do that. It doesn't come down to gender. It is individual. And I think the quicker that we stop playing these religious games, like where, I'm team woman and I'm team man. Fuck that. Just be a human, right? And treat everyone around you how you want to be treated, and then you will reach equity and parity and all that shit. Fuck me.
jobs. Like, honestly, I think as a girl, you have equal opportunity in the world. I think there's benefits. Like, for example, we have quotas for women in specific jobs that are given to us that aren't given to men. So yeah, I would say it's easier.
Spot on, Pearl. There are lots of jobs that are advertised just for women. And that is weird. I remember when I was looking for work, probably about 5
Bots are
years ago,
supposed
I
to
left
be
one of my
reckless.
jobs, and I wanted to find some part-time work while I was still working at YouTube and all that type of stuff. So, what I did is I went on to one of the job websites. So many of the jobs, either only you could apply if you were a woman, or if you were Indigenous in Australia. Right?
Probably won't get employed in
So I
here.
felt a bit weird about that. I was like, hang on, why does my gender and my ethnicity have to do with whether or not I can apply for a
Not
certain job?
PowerPoints.
Doesn't seem very fair.
Being a girl.
Just from a viewpoint over here, though, it seems there's a lot of pretty privilege in what you're saying, and that you're white and you present.
Do you think I'm pretty? Thank you.
I think that you.
This whole pretty, this is the thing, like, this intersectional feminism. They move the goalposts constantly. Like, at the start it was like men versus women, and now it's men and white women versus feminists of colour and disabled feminists and trans people. And then those white disabled ones will move to the other side, and then it'll be everyone. Stop moving the fucking goalposts, alright? Either decide if you're talking about all women or just you. Are you just talking about you? Is that what you're doing? Because at the moment you're saying, no, anyone who's privileged, which could be pretty women, is now on the man's side. That's, what a weird way to argue.
Done in a way that beauty standards have accepted. And so
They call me ugly on the internet all the time. They be roasting me daily, I swear to God.
I don't mean to say I think you're gorge. I just mean that there is a certain value that we give to certain bodies.
I mean, let's also dig into why these quotas exist and why these, what you're calling
Because we
privileges
want special
exist.
treatment.
No, it's because there have historically and presently in most jobs been fewer women.
Women, dickhead.
And because of sexism.
Yeah, sure, in some jobs, but in other jobs, it's not the case at all.
Okay.
See, here's the problem with taking generalizations, Eli. If you do that, then you go out there and you say something like all women are oppressed when they try to find a job. Well, that's not true at all. What if you want to be a nurse? What if you want to care for children or a teacher or whatever, right? Then there's no pressure to not be a woman at all. But if you want to be an engineer, there's also no pressure not to be a woman, but it just so happens that women don't seem to want to take those jobs, and that's fine. Maybe they're not interested in doing that university degree, and that's fine. But if you look at that like oppression, you're just lying to yourself.
How is it sexism when we have no barriers today? So we can
Who
pick
has
what
no
we want to
barriers?
pick.
It doesn't have barriers. Women don't have barriers?
Women, yeah. What's
We have
stopping
no
you? You can do
barriers.
whatever you want.
I
stopping
can
you?
or you can?
We're not talking about you. We know you're in a wheelchair, love. Stop playing that
What's stopping
card.
you? As a woman, as a
Speed ups is stopping her.
woman.
As a woman.
As a woman, as a woman.
That ignores a lot that I'm a woman with a disability. So
What about men that are in wheelchairs? Come on, love.
there's a lot stopping me that you don't have to think about.
Well, as I
You don't
said
have to
before,
think
I'm
about.
speaking about women. I'm not.
You're
I'm
speaking
not,
you're speaking for yourself.
You're speaking as
As an able-bodied
able-bodied
white woman.
An able-bodied white woman with red hair, and she's wearing a purple sweater, and yeah, we can come up with a million different ways to differentiate her with everyone else on the panel, or we could just say we're arguing about the actual gender. And if you look at this, where I've paused, you just see Cindy just going, "Oh, fuck, this is just ridiculous." We're arguing about ridiculous things that don't matter. This is why nothing gets done, is because you're arguing about things that just don't matter.
I
That is
understand.
what presents white.
Of course, there's going to be other barriers if you're disabled. I'm sure. Like I'm talking about as a woman.
So you're
I
just
would
going to
agree.
ignore
White
the
women
pay
have it
gap.
easier. Yes, I would agree.
What?
You're just going to ignore the pay gap, regulation over bodies.
pay gap has been
Oh,
proven
the
and
pay
debunked
gap doesn't
endlessly.
exist.
Regulation over our bodies.
The fuck does that even mean?
Eli Eldridge. Who is Eli Eldridge? I thought she was trans. Is she trans? I got no idea. But if she is trans, there's no regulation over your body. What are you fucking talking about?
It doesn't.
That's so
It's
funny.
the industries that women pick.
Let's talk about it.
There's a pay gap, but it's because women don't want to do the hardest industries.
I don't.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at just every single woman compared to every single man in, let's say, Australia, right? It is extremely common to see men pick jobs that are away from home, very, very difficult, dangerous, and thus attract higher pay. And for women to find jobs that are closer to their home, can allow for having children, all that type of stuff, and they choose to have children, which means they're away from the workforce, they don't progress as much, and that's a life choice. That is why the pay gap exists. Did you know that 75% of new lawyers in Victoria are women? Of the new lawyers that came into work this year, 75% of the new lawyers that came into work for 2021 and 2022 were women.
Pussy.
And that's great. They wanted to do that. Wonderful. But why aren't we upset that men aren't choosing that anymore? It's because we're not fucking whingers. Go on.
I think it's that simple. I think that's an oversimplification. I think the fact of the matter is that women structure their lives differently to men. Men don't give birth. Men don't
Oh, Sydney, you bigot. Yes, they do.
have to carry pregnancies. Men don't
Bigot again. Yes, they do.
have to be the primary caregiver most of the time. Women also don't hold jobs for as long as men do. They often will stop and start. They'll go back into work. They'll take time off. They'll take part-time jobs. The way that men work and women work are astronomically different.
This is just This is so obvious to people who take the time to look at the problems. The pay gap is structured, yes, or sexism in a small minority of the time, right? But the vast majority is because of decisions made by people.
And to try to say that they're comparable is where this issue comes from. They're not comparable.
Two things. First of all, let's dig into why they think that they should take these jobs, which is societal sexism, and then also...
Is it, Eli, or is it that women choose to want to work with people and men want to choose to work with things and men choose to work with things, and it just so happens that working with things, creating things, those type of things, those type of jobs attract more money. That's just the fact of the situation. Sorry.
Department of Labor, all statistics, at least speaking in the U.S., have found that when compared for the same jobs, there still is a pay gap, particularly when it pertains to race.
Because 60% of women have never asked for a raise. So
There's another one. If you want more money, you got to ask.
how can you complain about your pay if
Why
you don't
are
ask?
they not asking?
Wait,
What happens when women ask for a raise?
God, they sound like chickens going off when it's feeding time.
Sorry, I've been wanting to say something, but I want to be respectful.
This is the same thing. You want to say it, but you're not saying it. It's what we're talking about.
I don't want to interrupt people, and I want to let them finish their thoughts.
Jump in, just
But you know,
Sydney just punched her own hand. That's a microaggression, mate.
right? Of what a lot of us here know that we need. It's like there are the barriers, right, that we constantly ignore that are very much systemic.
What are these barriers? If you grow up
Okay.
and retire, and this is what I worry about the next generation of women going into the workforce. They've been taught since they were young, since 2015, when this really kicked off, particularly online. They have been taught that they have barriers and they can't get past these barriers, and there will always be barriers. So they're going to go into the workforce, they're going to go into adult life, they're going to have children and teach them that there are barriers you can't get past. If you are a female watching this, there aren't barriers. Do you want to do something? Do it.
And microaggressive, right? We see them and experience them every
Like
day.
what? In the U.S.,
So-
like what?
What would you like to know an
I'm
example
not
of?
gonna
I
be
know
that
you said
aggressive
that
right
there's
now.
like barriers. I
Like,
want to know what barriers in the U.S. today as a woman.
Well, as a woman or as a woman of color?
See, you're playing fucking word games.
Bitch
again.
stole my
Let's be
fucking
specific.
phone
As a
cube.
woman, I said
And we
as a
don't.
woman.
Well, no, I can't answer as a woman.
God.
I just feel like your question is
Right?
kind of hostile when you're
Oh, you would. Fucking
like,
hell.
there are no barriers to what I want. Congratulations. That means you have the privilege where you're not facing any friction, and that's showing. And I feel like
We all face certain barriers.
Get your
in life.
shit ass over
Okay?
here.
We all do. We all have things that are wrong with us, or right with us, or however you want to look at it, and we possibly can't achieve things that other people can. Some people are born to be sports people. Some people are born to be fucking mathematicians. Others are born to be hilarious comedians with magnificent beards, but unfortunately they're balding. There are differences amongst all of us. We just have to either get over those or work harder on those differences to make them the gap smaller. It comes down to who you are as a person and whether or not you want to be a victim or you want to just get on with it.
I think as an American, you're very privileged. Like,
I'm not ignoring that.
We're on like a basic level of what the feminist movement is when it comes to just being born a woman, right? Physically, pound for pound, we are born as women and we have less lean muscle mass than men. So there are issues of violence and assault and stuff like that. And so therefore, there are policies, there are things to help women physically, like, for example, I believe being able to carry a firearm and being able to use that safely.
That's really interesting. She believes that because women are naturally smaller than most men, and weaker, if you want to use that term, or not as strong, they should be able to carry a firearm, or at least she wants to be able to carry a firearm. I don't know if a firearm is the best move. I mean, you know, I don't know if having a firearm right on you if you get angry is a great move. It's a bit worrying. Maybe pepper spray. In Australia, and I think in the UK as well, you cannot carry pepper spray. It's considered a firearm. And when my wife and I were in Florida, we were at a gun show because and we asked some people who had pepper spray there. We were just asking about it. I was really interested in it, and they said basically, so these two African American women were asking Claire. They were saying, so how do you protect yourself when you're by yourself? And Claire said, we just nothing. And they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that you can't carry pepper spray. I think in Australia, you should be able to carry pepper spray. It is ridiculous that you can't. You want to stop creeps? You can't stop creeps attacking women by just saying, hey, men, stop that. Because the men who will listen, or the men that agree with that, aren't going to attack women. Give women something to fight back with.
My question. So I'm thinking male versus female.
But my feminism includes ability, it includes race.
My question is
You
for
guys
women.
can talk.
Women versus men. Like what barriers do we need removed? Because that's my statement. I'm not stating anything else. I'm stating
They
what
can't answer it. That's the thing.
versus men.
It's very silly.
Like so what barrier? I just want to
just give you a barrier. Give a barrier.
Question is fair question.
it's
not a fair question. It's
how is it not a fair?
It's hostile. You fucking sook.
I think it's the mindset. Women taking like the agency, women taking initiative. I think it's mindset holding them back a lot because if you want to be in a competitive world and compete, you have to have the right mindset.
Fuck.
Agreed. You got to go to war if you want to be successful. You have
Het does not count as a win, sadly.
If you want to rise to the ranks of CEO, if you have kids, it's going to hold you back. If you decide you won't move away or work long hours, it's going to hold you back. If you don't have an engineering degree and you want to be an engineer and get paid $500K a year in some mine, not having the degree is going to hold you back, all right? And being the victim and constantly complaining is absolutely, undoubtedly going to hold you back.
Lack of confidence or what society tells them for the reason that they're not achieving what they need to achieve, when that's not the case. You have to have the mindset of achieving because the men who built the world had the mindset of building it. So the women who want to engage and build that further, they need to have that same mindset.
I don't think we do. I think it's like assuming that we all want to be capitalist babies.
Right.
I think that men are not well adjusted in the society and women are not trying to
Get your shit out of here, Mr. Beast.
Have a go at the medals on it. My God, you look like a
For fuck's sake.
African dictator.
body what they have built for us. I think that like what we're forgetting
Son of a
is a
again.
very important detail, which is just like human respect and dignity.
Yeah, that's
And not asking people to prove what
Too
their experience
aggressive.
is and to prove to you. Like it is
My God, this is ridiculous. This is such a weak attitude, and this is why you won't be successful. Living your life as a victim is not a good thing. This is the lie that these people will teach you. They'll say, "Oh, you're a victim. You are a victim. You are oppressed, and that's how you should live your life." Fuck that. Move past that.
like such conservative thinking to say like I don't understand, explain it to me.
How is that
Oh, for
conservative?
fuck's sake.
That is logical thinking.
I need to get at least 4
Versus just
like
saying
to
I don't
count as a
understand
win.
and let me respect.
I hate this shit because it hurts women. That's what I hate about it. And if I had a daughter, I have a wife. I care about her, obviously. And I'm so glad that she doesn't have this mindset because it is drilled into young women. This is not a good mindset to have, for anyone to have. To constantly be a victim and claim that you are oppressed when you're born in the first world is ridiculous.
What you are
No,
saying,
I'm respecting
right?
wherever your starting point. I'm respecting that. I'm really respecting that. I'm saying that if you don't have the mindset you can even achieve it, you're never going to even try. So it's never.
Yes. 1,000% yes.
Achieve what? Like what are we talking about? Because
Anything.
Annoying.
I feel like you
fair
projected this
world,
like
no,
capitalist ideology on every woman.
You read the Communist Manifesto once. Shut the fuck up.
Achieve whatever it is you're looking for, equality, equity. But what I'm saying is women in the feminist space and a lot of these other spaces, we don't acknowledge that
No.
we have to take the initiative. We have to take the action.
Yeah,
we
fucking hell,
have to
I
have the mindset. We have to
can't
demand
wait.
those things.
I don't
Fucking
understand
shit
how
at
we're
them.
so off topic. This is about feminism today. Whereas
And then
everybody
als
wants to make
nog
this
weer
about
another
their
person
individual.
died.
Oh,
Couldn't that person die
here
before
are
me?
only the multitude of other things that factor into my person. Great. This is about feminism. It's about womanhood. I understand that all of you have your own individual experiences and the other
Just to mansplain for a second. This is Sydney saying, shut the fuck up, you whinging fucks.
things that feed into you as a person. That's perfectly fine. But this is where intersectionality falls off the planet and loses, I would argue, probably the vast majority of people, including me. I'm not.
Of course, because everyone's pro-feminism. Everyone's pro-feminism. But when you get into intersectionality, when it comes down to what's your personal disability, have you got psoriasis, how long can you go for a walk for, all this shit, then people just go, oh mate, just fucking get over yourself. Just have a go at life, will ya? Yeah, everyone's got it tough. Some men have it really, really tough. Some women have it really, really tough. Just, we can't worry
How the
about
fuck did he
1%.
hit everything?
Oh, people in a wheelchair, and then people in a wheelchair with a leg infection, and then people with 2 wheelchairs. Just go with gender. That's what we're talking about here.
Not even a feminist. I don't give a crap about feminists arguing amongst themselves about who's the most victimized. But this is annoying to listen to. I honestly I don't understand anything anybody's even trying to get at.
Look, I just want to say that I don't think equity.
Are they fucking teaming?
Said that in her video.
Teamers.
I suggest you go and watch it.
This fucking level.
What she said there had a lot more context to it.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, teamer. You're a
How many
fucking
of you
teamer.
would identify as pro-choice? Let's do a show of hands for pro-choice.
We're talking about abortion here. That's what I didn't mention at the start of this video because YouTube would be mad. Pro-choice, my opinion, is my opinion upsets a lot of people. But I think in the early stages of
Oh,
pregnancy,
those were all the
get it out
quests. So,
if you want it out. I understand. And this is the hard thing with abortion is that will turn into a child. That will. It's not the same as it's nothing.
well, goodbye.
It will turn into